Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Machan Le'ira Online Smicha. There is a halacha that on Hilchos Shabbos that it's interesting and I don't think it's very well known, and especially that you don't find it in Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, because this part of the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch and Hilchos Shabbos is missing. We know that the Tikkunei Meichel, all preparations of food, starting from Berer, Schita, Teichen, is all Shin Yutesh, Shin Chaf. Shin Chaf Aleph is Tikkunei Meichel, Teichen, Ma'amer, Ma'abed, whatever. Then there is the end speaks about the Isser, the Malacha of Lush, kneading. And there's a big difference of opinions if kneading is actually if you mix the liquid with the flakes or the solid and you make them together a dough, or perhaps even pouring the liquid in is already a problem. Those are different opinions. Okay, now as I mentioned before, this halacha is not elaborated. We don't have the whole Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch about it, so therefore a lot of it is missing. You have to go to the big Shulchan Aruch. But there is a Mishnah Brura in Siman Shin Chaf Aleph, Seif Katan Yitez Zayin, where he quotes a Prima Gadim with a very shocking halacha. Again, it's continuation. This is Hilchos Lush, but over here he drifts off and it speaks about something which is not necessarily an issue of lush, but rather an issue of maris ha'ayin. He says, how about beating an egg, scrambling an egg? So the Alter Rebbe, the Mishnah Brura quotes from the Prima Gadim. He says, brings from the Magen Avram, Asur litroiv beitzim b'kaira. You're not allowed to scramble an egg in a bowl. Obviously, you're not cooking because you're not allowed to cook on Shabbos. But you're not even allowed to scramble an egg in a bowl. Because it looks like you're going to do something with it. What are you going to do with it? Shenira, it appears, kami sheroitza lavashal bigdeira. It appears as if you're scrambling the egg because you're going to make a scrambled egg. You're going to cook it. So because it appears that you're going to do that, you're not even. In other words, let's say somebody has a recipe that he wants to pour raw eggs over a salad. He shouldn't scramble the egg in a bowl unless you could see that it's not being done for anything but it. But if it looks like the Mishnah Brura brings, if a person could be misled and think that you're going to cook an egg, you're not even allowed to scramble an egg. The im trufos me'erev Shabbos. If, however, they were already beaten before Erev Shabbos in a bowl of beaten eggs, then after maybe then yesh lahako litnam l'torech borscht. Then you might be able to, if some people have the recipe that they add raw eggs into borscht, if they were already beaten, then you can pour it into the borscht, as long as the borscht isn't a klisheni. And why would he pour raw eggs? Because it's to bring color. That you're allowed to do. However, there's a different concern. If the borscht was very, very bitter, very sour, very vinegary, now you might have a shaila of bishul b'Shabbos. So this concept of being careful not to beat an egg, I don't think people really know this too much. However, in the Achrayim, the Chayei Adam says, this that we say that you're not allowed to beat an egg, that's if you're doing it with strength, the way you scramble an egg. But if you're just mixing a little liquid, like some people mix the liquid, the coffee, they mix it with a spoon lightly, that wouldn't be a problem. And then he actually brings that there's also some say that there's a difference if you're beating one egg or beating more than one egg, but yet others disagree with it. The Maris Ha'ayin will apply even in one egg.